Well, good morning, everybody. It's Sunday morning, and yeah, I know there's a big gap between vlogs that I've put up and vlogs that I'm going to put up. So I'm sorry about that. Just haven't really been doing anything. But today we're going somewhere special. Today we're going to go to a place called, well, on TV it's called Button House, and I don't know if you guys ever follow the troupe of actors that do the horrible histories. But they did one called Ghosts, which is actually, it's a BBC one. I believe it's on BBC One. And there's other stuff filmed there, but Ghosts is mainly the reason we're going there, because Willow's absolutely infatuated and obsessed with it, as is Fox.
Well, he's not really.
And we're going to the actual house where they filmed it today, and we're going to walk around and we're going to take some photos and just see where the program was made. So that's really exciting. We're really looking forward to that. It's absolutely brilliant. It's about this house that this lady inherits from her family that she didn't realise that she had, and she ends up with this great big house. She's called Alison, isn't she?
Yeah.
And what's her husband called? Or Michael. And they inherit this house, and I won't tell you too much, but it's kind of infested with ghosts, as it were, and they've been there throughout the ages. It's like when I was a kid, there was a programme called Ghosts of Motley Hall, which was my favourite programme ever, and still is to today. And that was a similar thing. The only difference is that you got the living interacting with them. If you've seen it, you've seen it. You'll know what I'm on about. If you haven't, go and watch it. It's fantastic. Are you? It's on BBC iPlayer, is it? Brilliant.
Grown-ups, not children.
Yeah, they're grown-ups, aren't they? Grown-up ghosts. Hazel, what do you think? Do you like it, Ghosts?
I do, yeah.
It's funny, isn't it?
It is funny.
It's really good, isn't it?
Is.
So that's where we're going today. This is a treat for Willow because she did her mock sats and she did really well, which we're really proud of. And so we're taking.
I do my sats. Actual sats.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, they were my actual sats.
Oh, actual sats.
He doesn't even know my age. He doesn't.
I didn't know they were. No, I do know. I know all of this.
We know you know.
What a bad father.
I asked him.
Willow this.
I do.
asked him.
I don't. But then I call Hazel Willow, and Willow Hazel, and Fox just anything I can, anything I feel at the time.
I asked Sally, can I get a tongue piercing? Yeah.
No, you can't get tongue piercing.
You said, no, you can't because you're 11, 12.
Well, you'll be 12 soon.
11 to 12 to. Can you just help Fox put those? That's it. Well done, Fox. On the other one.
11 to 12 to, yeah. Anyway, right.
On this bit of your wrist.
I'm still going to get it.
Yeah, you're not. Right, okay, we're going on our way to... What's the house called, actually, Hazel?
Horsley Place.
West Horsley Place. It's in Sutton. Is it Sutton? Sorry. There's no need to apologise. Ah! Right, we're in Surrey. We're going to Surrey. So, yeah, we're strapped in. We'll see you when we get there. Excited! There you go. We're going to Button House. Here it is here. Just on the right here. Get some photos of that in a minute. There goes Hazel and the kids. All excited. Look at this. This is how posh the bathrooms are in here. I won't show you too much, but they've exposed a lot of the brickwork, the original brickwork, and a lot of the sort of wattle and daub plaster. It's really interesting. Just over here, you can see exactly how it was constructed. So these bricks are actually a facade built in the front of a much earlier house, which is a sort of Tudor house originally. So you've got the library through there, and it was actually bequeathed. It was left to Bamber Gascoigne by his aunt, and he didn't realise it was going to be left to him. And it was left with, it needs something like £5 million worth of work doing on the house and £3 million on the garden. So he sort of put it into a trust, which is where it is now. This is the hall as you come in. It's amazing, and there's a sweeping staircase. It's absolutely stunning. But how sweet is that? It's like a sled for a child. Sweeping vista here of the hall, and as we go up. So yeah, so Ghost was filmed actually in this house. We'll see a bit of that now. You're right there, Willow.
Hiya.
Cool. There we have the rooms.
The whole concept of this house is not to restore it back to what it was, but just to preserve what is here now, because it spans so many different centuries. The oldest part is next door, which is like 14th, 15th century. It's finally rehearsed.
Saltarelli.
His son, Carew, then inherited this place and put up the brick facade in the front, on the front of the building there. which is purely hooked over. So when I first saw it in about 2015-16, that west wing was standing about 6 inches away from the house. So the first thing they had to do was...
So this is the oldest part of the building now, as you can see by the ceiling and vaulted ceiling and what have you. Amazing. Through there's the Ode to Button House. Beautiful property. It's a lovely property, isn't it? A beautiful house. Love it. So apparently this was the Minstrels Gallery here. This is pretty cool in itself. So you were able to see down into the Great Hall down there at some point. These are open access. But as the lady was saying, they're reluctant to do any work on it. They're not going to undertake any work on it because obviously every last piece of it is history. It might be conflicting pieces of history, but it's history. And so it's best left the way it is rather than trying to put it back to its original state. Beautiful though. It's a dog. And that was done for the programme. And here's the doll's house that features on the opening credits. And characters in situ. I saw here. Artifacts on the programme. It is. Beautiful. So now we are back out to the back hall. Very cool. Beautiful. And through there is the supposed cellar where the plague pit is, where the spirits and the plague cover are buried. Well, that was quite a nice little soup on my moustache. Oh dear, look. How embarrassing is that? Look at that. Yellow moustache. That's not very good, is it? But yes, that's soup, that is. Dear. Walk around the house talking to people with that on my moustache. But yeah, it's amazing. Very historical place. The tour of it isn't too much. It's kind of up one flight of stairs. There's a library that we looked in. You saw that earlier on. There's a great big sort of entrance hall, foyer that you go through as you enter the house, like there's with most of these stately homes. And yeah, there's not. It's big, but there's you get around it pretty quick because it's like, you know, it's just. It's not as big as some, shall we say. It's big, but it's not as big as some. But it's an amazing building. And it was seized during the... it was seized during the Reformation by Henry VIII, and it was then given to his cousin. And his cousin held a massive banquet there for him. I think it was something like a 50-odd or 70-odd piece meal, which was great. But 3 weeks later, because his cousin was married to a Catholic, he then beheaded his cousin. Such a lovely chap, Henry VIII. He then beheaded his cousin, and so there's lots and lots of layers of history there. As you heard a lady say, so Walter Raleigh, his mother, when he was beheaded, when he was obviously put in he was put in the Tower of London 3 times, I think, and he was beheaded, and his mother used to carry his head in a bag, this silken sort of threaded, very ornate bag around her waist, and apparently his head is now over there in the churchyard somewhere. But it's very interesting, Hazel, isn't it?
It's amazing.
It's a beautiful place, isn't it?
It's so cool.
I didn't think it had this much history.
It's full of history. It's history. And look,
I know.
Talking to people with that.
I did say to you that you had.
I know, but I didn't know that. I thought that I'd cleaned it off, but clearly not. No. Anyway, see you in a bit. There's a very funny scene in the programme as well over there where Willow's just walked over. Hazel's right on the far end there. And to the left, to the end of where that brick wall is, where the chap's just walked in front of it. You can see that where the end of the brick wall is, that there was a guy camping there in the programme. And yeah, it was a Christmas episode, I believe. But very, very funny. It's very, very good. These things are made for children, but you know what? I think that there's as much in them for the adults, if not more, than there is for kids. And of course, you know, it's the Horrible Histories troupe. So who could not like anything that they've made? It's absolutely superb. Just a quick shot of the grounds. There's lots of acres and acres and acres and acres of land with this. Just beautiful. Now over there in the distance, I don't know if you can see it, let's zoom in, that tree stump. I believe that's the tree stump where the Scoutmaster crashes into after he gets the arrow through his neck and dies. And obviously once he passes away, he ends up as a ghost haunting this property. It's pretty cool, very funny. If you haven't watched it, I would advise you to watch it. It's great. I think they're on the last series. They've actually finished filming the last series. So yeah, that'll be it. It's quite sad. Beautiful, beautiful house though. Just stunning. There you go. Just beautiful. And here they come again from the gardens. So I just inquired to one of the staff here. Take that off a minute and see me. I just inquired if there's any chance of, you know, me getting in and doing a ghost hunt in there. Obviously we'll pay them for it. But she said no, they don't do that. They do everything else. Weddings, everything like that. Baptisms, all of that type of stuff. Parties and stuff. But they don't do paranormal investigations in there. They won't. It's not allowed for some reason. Well, I can understand why, because there are some people that do abuse the fact that they're in a property like that and they've got very little respect for it. I understand that. And even though they're paranormal investigators, not all paranormal investigators are as inclined to view history in the way that I or some of my sort of comrades do, my friends do. But I can understand that. I mean, it's worth millions. But it was interesting. It was worth an ask, as I say. It's always worth an ask. And, you know, if there's a way, I'll always find a way to get into a property. But they won't on it. Shame, really, because they can earn an awful lot of money. They could earn literally thousands upon thousands if they open it up to paranormal investigators. But then again, you run the risk of it being wrecked or one artefact being smashed, and then that's not good, is it? So that's it. So this is the oldest part of the building. If you look, see the Tudor window up there. And you can see by the edge of the window where the brick has come away from the actual facade. And down here, pretty cool, very cool in fact, amazing. Oh, one other piece of history that's synonymous with this place, is very well known, or maybe not so well known, I'm not too sure. But Guy Fawkes of the Gunpowder Plot, that Guy Fawkes, not that there's many of them, he was actually a footman here in the day. And so, yeah, that's another piece of history that's attached to this property. Guy Fawkes worked here as a footman. Well, it was short and sweet, wasn't it? But it was really good, wasn't it?
It was lovely.
It was lovely. How long were we there? Not very long.
Well, we've been in 40 minutes.
40 minutes. That's including, yeah, but that's not. But it was worth. It's time enough. But it's very good. We're going to have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and then
as we come back, another
maybe we'll see. Anyway, that's it from us. Goodbye. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody. See you soon.